It's Lisa Loring. I'm here to do your reading. What's today, Sophia? Sophia's here. Today is August 13th. How did August 13th treat you? Crazy day, huh? Is it Mars and Pluto got squared up today? Hope you didn't get in a big fight. Pluto's going to win. Transformation. That's the card that came up first last night, right? Yes, it was. We did the Crystal Visions Tarot. I want to talk to you a little bit about that, actually. So, I meditate on the cards like long after. I think I've said this before. Long after, the cards don't leave the reading for me. They stick with me. And so, and I ended up writing this in the description, which was, the things that the convictions. I kept saying conviction. I got really tired during that reading last night. That guy on that horse, I felt like that guy. And the convictions that we have, we decided, I saw the way he was coming into that Two of Cups. And basically, the conviction, we're looking around and all this shit that, this stuff that we've been holding on to. It's like a card, that was like a huge forgiveness card, forgiveness of ourselves, like putting down the burdens that we've been holding for ourselves. Right? And, all these and the guilt and all these this stuff that we keep harboring against ourselves and let alone other people, then we bring that into the equation, right? So the relationship with ourselves is the first and foremost thing that's undergoing great healing right now. And of course, from there flows out our relationships with other people, but it has to happen with the self first. And that was what it was in the description that I actually wrote up in the context. This was the healing that is, the convictions, the beliefs that we're holding about a variety, whatever that means for you, however that resonates. This was about realizing that they don't hold water. That the convictions that we're holding actually just don't hold water. They don't have the same meaning, or they don't pack the same punch that they used to. We're why are we even holding on to this? The war is over. Letting down aspects of our ego that are no longer serving us. So I know a lot of the astrologers put aside the things that don't serve you anymore. And a lot of us will interpret that literally as being we're kicking people out of our lives and things like that. But it's actually, and it was all about homecoming. It's actually about the inclusion of things into our lives in their new transformed presentation, their current state. So, you might find yourself I know that I've talked to a bunch of people this week who I haven't talked to in years. Relationships are being repaired. And we're also, on this more this global standpoint is we're also looking at this in terms of what we've all been through. I wrote it to my friend Sandra. Shout out to Sandra. Love you, girl. I wrote, what did I write to her today? I'll read it to you. It was just some thought that came to me when she and I were communicating this morning. Yeah, and also I wanted to bring up that the mountains, and they were in that card with that guy, the mountains in the card images over the past 10 days, 2 weeks, have been capturing my attention in the readings the past week or so. There has been a separation. Now there is a great coming together, and now we climb together. So we've had to kind of live separate and yet, and apart, but yet somehow together in all of it. But now we're really having this opportunity to bring in all of our various perspectives and experiences of the global pandemic and everything that we've been going through. And now we kind of reintegrate. This is that homecoming, that we're all kind of coming back together, meshing what it is that has happened in a way, and that mesh, that doesn't just happen meshing and, but there's this great healing and there's this great, water flowing everything back together again in a way that now we'll walk together again, and through it but yet still with our various experiences. And we get to kind of like now meet up and talk with one another about what we've seen in our new world, despite the fact that our worlds have gotten smaller, which has changed all of us. So where do we go from here? Well, I think we'll be really surprised at where we go from here. So anyway, those are some more perspectives on the reading from yesterday. Go back and listen to it if you haven't listened to it. I was thinking to use the Herbal Tarot jumped into my hands, although the Crystal Vision, maybe it's just because I had more to say about that. I'm going to actually put those to the side today, and we're going to use the Herbal Tarot. And shout out to Gregory Scott, by the way. He has a new deck. He's awesome. He's a great reader. Definitely check him out. Gregory, though, you sent my deck to the wrong address. You need to check your email. All right, let's do the reading today. I'm going to angle the cards down, or the camera down a little. Oh, but you can't. You know what? Maybe do this game. Yeah, let's do this. All right, so I'm going to angle the. Yeah, I actually am liking where I'm putting that one out. I have this like ring light thing that I bring out for this, so we don't get weird delays. All right, so grounding into the energy of today. So that was what was yesterday. I don't know what's going to come up from that. But grounding into the energy of tonight, August 13th, moving into Friday, August 14th. Thank you, angels, archangels. I feel them coming in already. I feel an amazing, what a wonderful sensation. Yeah, bringing in the angels, the archangels. What are the best energies to work with for the collective consciousness? What are the blessings, the divine guidance that you have to show us through the beautiful cards? In love and light and glory. And showing us the dark sides of us that also need inclusion and are welcome to the table and are not to be feared, but to be understood for full integration. Thank you for joining us. And we have two cards that already came out. So we have the High Priest and the Ace of Cups came out together. All right. Nice. Sage. Ah. Yeah, we're moving into the balsamic moon phase soon. New moon on Tuesday, 3 days before, so we're not quite there, but we're getting there. You might want to start getting out your sage. And the Ace of Cups, the lotus flower, and that lotus, so highly featured in yesterday's reading. Ace of Cups, card of abundance, a card of being within yourself, a card of, again, a divine gift of healing, peace. There's the peace dove with that olive branch in her mouth. And again, those mountains in the background. So we'll get more from the reading here. So things becoming established. Again, we're honoring the things that are established. We're honoring the things in our life that do feel stable in some way. And we're bringing a healing peace to those things. So honoring our commitments, really becoming established in our character and who we are and our decisions, making decisions that come from a healing, that are for our highest healing, that somehow we know are divinely guided. The Hierophant is, like the High Priest card. So it's a little different from the High Priestess as I described in some of the in the earlier readings this week, where the High Priestess is, again, more circumspect, where, it involves, she's more about, she's more all-inclusive and really looks at all the variety of religions and funnels them through, where the High Priest is more about this more structured version of religion. So creating some structure around our spirituality, directing our spirituality in a way that is healing. That's what's coming up for me. Oh, hi, and another card. Two of Pentacles. So yeah, again, a card of decisions, a card of managing learning how to manage our resources in the best way. She's got a couple of sailboats in the background. That's interesting. Yellow dock is the plant for her. We'll go into that a little bit more. Yellow dock. What's docking for you? Something, yeah, dock is really standing out for me with that. What is docking? Those clouds in the background. I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, there. You can see the clouds in the background. That, again, kind of, I saw them as mountains at first, but it's actually more clouds on the distance. But she's learning to juggle. We're in a pink dress. Colors of the green and the pink are standing out for me. Colors of the heart chakra, pink in the clouds as well. Juggling her, yeah, like how to, like, how we are going to manage the things that our heart desires in a way that is a balance, how to kind of, help things to work out. Like that comes back to like meshing, right? How do you mesh everything together in a way that honors the experiences you've had over the past 6 months or so, or more now that we're in the middle of August, and start moving forward with how integrating them into, the remainder of the year, which frankly is going to be a lot. We got those mountains. We have mountains to climb. This is a relative moment of respite, and we're gathering ourselves. But remember that strength card that came up yesterday. We are more than up to the task. No, it's not going to be easy, but we have the chops. We do. We do. What are the other blessed messages to round out this reading? The King of Pentacles. So yeah, the resources. We got all the shit we need. There you go. This guy's got it all. This guy's got it on lock. He has got the material. This stuff is in the 3D. Pentacles are things that are on this earth. This is your health. This is your material goods. Your education, the things you do in the world. This is all stuff that's concrete. It's in the here and now. It's not some like off in the distance kind of deal. This is happening now. This is 3D. This is having mastery of the 3D. So you can move into other dimensions. Like you can afford to like go off into the ether when you have your boundaries and you have all of your stuff together. This guy's got it together in the way that makes sense to most people. And then you can go off and, be the high priest. So he's basically the major arcana of this guy, right? He's the major arcana of this guy. So he already came out first. He's almost like a chump compared to that guy, right? This guy's really got the material pulled together in a way that is spiritual. So he's turning his material into the spiritual. You can afford to look up and out when you're material and you feel secure in, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? See, I love this card, and I love how they go together. He's got the purple in his pentacle. So I love how in this deck they're presenting the intuition. That's the color of intuition inside the pentacle. So you have to kind of use your intuition, right? That doesn't, the material, yes, it happens with hard work and whatnot, but it takes a great deal of being able to tap into your own intuition in order to have the things that you want on this plane. The things that do make you, kind of feel material is secure, and the things that make sense to a lot of people. Whether you subscribe to that or not is another thing, but in reality, we do need things there are things that are required for us to feel good. It's hard to feel like like you're going to be spiritually ascending if you are homeless. Although some people are actually, the minute I said that, the more I thought about, all the stories of just leave your stuff behind. When Jesus says, come follow me, he didn't mean with your Versace bags and, he didn't mean with all of your gear. He says, just come follow me. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine in all aspects. This is a cup of abundance. This is an abundance. So we manage our heart space and we follow our heart. We juggle all of those things, that all parts of who we are. And when we are able to create the balance and actually make it fun, like she's on the beach, she's having a good time. She's in her heart. She's in her nice, lovely dress. This reminds me of, yeah, hell yeah, I love that. I love that. Anyway, it reminds me of Jamaica. Just saying. Yeah. Anyway, that's awesome. I love these. So let's read a little bit about the herbs. That's Crystal Visions. Oh, here's the herb book. Okay, so the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups came up. Right, these guys. Oh, I just had a good idea. Give me a minute. Coolio, Coolio. Okay, look. I have this cool, oh, here, maybe we'll put it back here. Ah, yeah, there it goes. That's kind of neat, right? Actually, maybe I should, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, like here, we'll do it here, or here, or whatever. Anyway, I'll put it back here. I think you can see them. So we got the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups, and so we got the Lotus. You know, there's not, I don't actually know what its healing properties are. So that's super cool that we can look this up. I mean, we know that the lotus flowers are, this is stuff that's rooted way down in the muck, in the 3D. Like what's rooted in the 3D can bloom and open us up. The lotus flower is the sign, is the crown chakra. It opens us up to the divine. So we're rooted in the muck. Yes, we do have our roots. We are grounded in our place on this earth, which is not to be discounted. Everyone's like, oh, we have to ascend and be, not of this earth. You cannot ascend unless you are incarnated. You need to be on this earth. A critical component of learning to be an ascended and enlightened being is understanding what it's like to be human and to make your human experience the best you can every single moment. To understanding that the vibrations, the thoughts, the intentions, even in the minutest thought, the most mundane activity, the 3D activities that we do have a tremendous effect. It roots into the ground. It vibrates into the ground. Into this ground. Jessie Kalin, gender bender prophet. Love her, him. Neutral, gender neutral. Had posted something about how if we breathe on seeds or something like that. There's something really cool. Like check out that Instagram from a couple days ago. All right, so yeah, there's my feet. I don't know what made me put my feet up here, but there's my feet. Okay, so Ace of Cups. Let's take a look at that. Get grounded in order to look up, because you can't look up if your feet aren't rooted on the ground, or else you're going to be all over the place. Lotus. The peduncle is used as an astringent for bleeding, menorrhagia, bloody stool, retention of lochia. The stamens are used for premature ejaculation, involuntary seminal emission, nocturnal emission, frequent urination. The seeds are used for spontaneous ejaculation, vaginal discharge, insomnia, palpitations, chronic diarrhea, and lack of appetite. The plume is used for nervousness, thirst, hypertension. The root is eaten as a food and is useful for strengthening the lungs and heart. Divinatory meanings: enlightenment, supreme unconditional love, success, fulfillment, blessedness. And then the reverse meaning would be inner joy, contentment found in oneself, happiness, and solitude. Like, there's nothing bad about this card. You can't really go wrong with that, right? Get grounded. Appreciate your existence. Be grateful for wherever you're planted. This is that bloom wherever you're planted thing. Recognize your roots. Establishment, right? Look at your roots. Again, there's that homecoming bit. It's time to come home. We've had enough. I've used the word fun. We've had enough at times, right? Maybe you think you haven't. There's that Seven of Swords. There's that Six of Swords and whatever. What was it? Six of Swords and the Three of Cups reversed. Yeah, you can keep doing that. Oh, we gotta open this back up. There we go. High Priest, Sage. Sage leaves heal and strengthen in treatment of acute as well as chronic. Okay, so yeah, so anything back to the back to the Ace of Cups. That's all about anything that's excessive and out of control, right? I think that was, that was what I was hearing in the all of the various things that the beautiful lotus flower can heal. Sage leaves heal and strengthen in treatment of acute as well as chronic diseases. Sage is the herb for the high priest. Or the high priest. Hierophant. The leaves are burned as incense in Native American religious rituals. Carminative, aromatic, they can be used in cooking to prevent gas and indigestion. Taurus ruled by Venus, yes. Symbolically used for contacting the spiritual side of one's nature, exorcising demons, ghosts, and negative feelings. Sage can be used on a daily basis for purification by lighting a few dry leaves in a large seashell and wafting the smoke over oneself and in one's environment. Divinatory meanings: inner guidance, spiritual guidance, guru, teacher, that which stimulates inner awakening and growth. And combined with the Ace of Cups, this is tapping into your own inner wisdom, your own inner divinity. This message has been coming up. Tap into your go high vibe. Go to your wiser self in order to stay out of the muck and be here. But appreciate, have the humility to understand where you are rooted. That where we're all rooted. Nobody's nobody's perfect. You're going to look around and be like, oh, actually, and this is part of putting down those burdens of the Ten of Wands moving into the Two of Cups, is looking at yourself and being like, actually, I am carrying just as much shit as the stuff I've been accusing you of doing. Looking at yourself honestly. Being like, I don't know what I'm fighting for, because I'm really just, what I'm accusing you is the mirror of the stuff I'm doing myself. And having the humility to be there and recognize it. It's an awesome thing, because that's when we start to have healing and we start to move forward in our relationships. Just really, the playing field got real level, right? Yep. For sure. Okay, Two of Pentacles. That's not Two of Cups. I'm looking at Two of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Let's look at that. The yellow dock. So something is docking. I keep thinking about that with that. I'll come back to that. The yellow dock is alterative, blood tonic, mild laxative used to stimulate the secretion of bile through the liver and to purify the blood and whole system. Yellow dock is also used to raise iron levels in the blood and is particularly useful for anemia. Divinatory meaning: letting go internally of things no longer needed allows for the rebuilding of genuine strength. Yeah. That's an interesting herb to pair up with this. Internal strength, emulating the strength card, that's coming up again, right? That's kind of a mastery. She's a mastery if she's balancing different things in the strength card, like this giant lion. These two like polarities inside of ourselves. Like I said it when I was shuffling the deck, like really inviting the dark side in. So like inviting the dark side of ourselves so we can actually like to achieve balance. To actually to recognize those polarities, that we are rooted in the muck, but in our recognition that we are rooted in the muck and nobody's any better than anybody else, at that point we ascend, right? And we recognize that there's so much out there, there's so much opportunity once we understand our own fallibility. I'll put her up there because you didn't see her. We understand our own fallibility and our own foibles. And we get out of this, like, notion of this polarity of right and wrong. There is no right and wrong. When you understand that, then you can juggle, and then you're in flow. Then you're in flow, and then you have peace. So those guys, and then King of Pentacles. Let's bring him on up. I love that little thing. I actually used to use it when I used to record classes, when I used to go to real classes. Well, they're not that they're not real, but I don't need to explain more. King of Pentacles, and he's got alfalfa. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that. Nutritive, tonic, diuretic, alterative. I don't know what alterative. Alfalfa is used for regulating weight, and it's a treatment for arthritis and rheumatism, and as a diuretic. Divinatory meanings. Man over 35, business-like, responsible, rigid, organized, and conservative. I guess he looks over 35. A man of means and worldly accomplishments, wise in the way of the world, a fatherly figure. So he's in leadership. He's in leadership. Like I said, we've got this under control, and I think I spoke enough to him about the presence of that into that third eye chakra, your sixth chakra, right between the eyebrows. He's also got these the colors in this alfalfa plant, and you can see it, are more of that almost like cornflower blue, which is emulative of the is emulative even a word? I think I just made a word. The throat chakra. So it's actually like, he even has mastery of, which is again, mastery of the way that we use our words, and the way that we use our words is going to end up being, paving the way for us to have the kind of abundance and security that this gentleman has. And I don't care what your, however you gender identify, this is the kind of like embodiment that we want to be in order to be able to juggle and balance all aspects of ourselves. But again, she's having a great time, right? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting that. I was going to pull something else, but I think I'm going to leave it there because we're at almost 30 minutes and I don't want to do any further. Maybe I'll look at the bottom of the deck. Okay, for real. Queen of Pentacles. So there she is to come with him. So when you are secure in that, you get to be her too. So there's your balance, your yin, your yang. There's your peace. You can balance it, and then you get to be here, which is like a combination of that. He's got both the feminine and the divine and the masculine, and you see that in the two. He's got that thing, a high priestess game going on there. He's got one dark column, one light column, and he's balancing in between. He's cleansing out the negativity. So is this. So is this. Marshmallow. She's got a little bit of a darker chakra, a darker blue one there. But she's composed. She's composed. Marshmallow, you opened right up. Nutritive, anti-inflammatory, soothing, vulnerary, treats ulcers and sores, soothes irritation such as urinary stones. Water will help, right? And other kidneys, or an organ of water. Promotes healing. It is applied as a poultice for inflamed wounds and injuries. Woman in charge of nurturing and caring for others, a mother or a businesswoman, a woman of means and accomplishment, a wise crone, someone to turn to for advice. Turn to yourself for advice. So I'm going to leave it with that. I'll take one more peek. Oh, we got the Five of Cups. But then we choose. We pick. He's actually got 3 cups to choose from. That's interesting. But I'm not going to get into them. I'll leave it alone. You guys have a good one. It's my pleasure. Love you much.